Imagine this: two infants, abandoned by a river, their cries echoing through a wild, untamed land. A she-wolf appears from the shadows, not to kill them, but to raise them. Those two children, Romulus and Remus, would grow up to found a city that would one day rule the world. But here's the twist. Rome's story isn't just about glory. It's about blood, betrayal, and the unstoppable hunger for power. From that first scream of a newborn on the banks of the Tiber River to the roar of legions conquering continents, this is how a myth became an empire. Long before marble temples and golden eagles, there was chaos. Italy was a patchwork of tribes: Latins, Etruscans, Sabines. In that wilderness, destiny took shape. The story goes that Numitor, the rightful king of Alba Longa, was overthrown by his jealous brother, Amulius. To secure his throne, Amulius forced Numitor's daughter, Rhea Silvia, to become a Vestal virgin, sworn to remain childless. But fate had other plans. When Mars, the god of war, visited her, Rhea bore twins. The furious king ordered the babies drowned in the Tiber, but the river refused to take their lives. The basket drifted to shore, and that's where the she-wolf found them. Years later, Romulus and Remus would avenge their grandfather, kill Amulius, and set out to build a new city. But, as with every great empire, Rome began with bloodshed, when Romulus killed his own brother in a fit of rage. Thus, the old stories say, Rome was founded in blood. That's not just mythology, it's a warning. Even in its birth, Rome's destiny was tied to violence and ambition. Around 753 BC, the small settlement of huts on the Palatine Hill began to grow. Rome's early kings, legendary names like Numa Pompilius, Tullus Hostilius, and Tarquinius Priscus, turned the city into a rising power. The Romans borrowed heavily from the Etruscans, a more advanced civilization to the north. Engineering, architecture, and even religion. They learned how to drain the marshes, build roads, and construct the first version of the Forum, the beating heart of Roman life. But it wasn't all progress and peace. The monarchy became corrupt. The last king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, ruled like a tyrant. His arrogance and cruelty set the stage for rebellion. One story changed everything: the rape of Lucretia, a noble woman whose assault by the king's son sparked outrage across the city. Her suicide became a symbol of resistance. The people rose up, expelled the king, and in 509 BC, the Roman kingdom became the Roman Republic. The end of kingship was a radical idea. No more crown, no divine right. Rome would now be ruled by laws and citizens. Two consuls, elected every year, would share power so that no man could ever become king again. It was an ingenious system, on paper. In reality, power always finds its way to the ambitious. Behind the scenes, a new elite emerged, the patricians, ancient families who controlled wealth and influence. The rest, plebeians, were the working class, soldiers, farmers, craftsmen. They could vote, but their voices were small against the echo of noble halls. And yet, this tension, the struggle between rich and poor, elite and commoner, would define Rome for centuries. It would shape its laws, its wars, and eventually, its downfall. Rome didn't wait long to flex its muscles. Surrounded by rival tribes and enemies, it had to fight to survive. the Etruscans to the north, the Sabines to the east, and the Latins all around. War was not a choice, it was a way of life. Every young Roman male was a soldier first, farmer second. Victory meant survival. Defeat meant extinction. Over decades, Rome forged one of its greatest weapons, not the sword, but the system. Every war taught them something new: how to organize, how to build alliances, how to absorb their enemies rather than destroy them. They would conquer a city and then offer it a deal. Become Roman allies, send soldiers to our legions, and share our destiny. It was ruthless, but brilliant. Rome wasn't just expanding, it was evolving. Out of constant conflict emerged the Roman virtues: discipline, duty, and devotion to the state. Romans believed they were chosen by the gods to bring order to chaos. They built roads that cut through forests, bridges that defied rivers, and walls that seemed to touch the heavens. But more than anything, they built a belief that Rome was eternal. Every soldier carried not only a shield, but a sense of destiny. To die for Rome was not tragedy, it was honor. And that belief would carry them to unimaginable heights, and eventually push them over the edge. By 500 BC, the Republic was still young, its people fierce, its ambitions limitless. But beneath the marble and might, cracks had already begun to form. The same fire that made Rome great, its hunger for power, its obsession with glory, would one day consume it. As one senator would later whisper, "Rome conquers the world, but cannot conquer itself." Next time, we enter the age of the Republic, where ambition and idealism collided, and the world learned what it truly meant to be Roman.